So, as all the perfect tenses, past perfect is another difficult one. So let's try to use this PowerPoint and this video to get to know a little bit more about it. So, when do we use past perfect? We use past perfect when we want to talk about actions that were completed at some point, but before another past action. For example, we were shocked. This is a past action, a point in the past to discover that someone had stolen our car. So the moment of the shock is one in the time, and the stealing of the car is before our shock. So in an imaginary timeline, or when we look at the past, metaphorically talking, we see that the two actions do not occur at the same moment. Okay, so it's important to distinguish between these when they are used in combination. Then another use is for talking about something that happened before something else. This is very similar. I opened the door to pick up the paper and realized that someone had already picked it up. I mean, this action happened before my other actions. So in a sequence of time, we are enumerating different times. These two examples are very similar. They're only slightly different. In form, we have to remember that we use had, that here is not the past of tener, is not tuve, okay? It's an auxiliary, like when you study the present perfect, the same. And we combine it with the third column of the verbs. So you've got to remember your past participles. Examples, I had finished, she had gone. So remember that when the verbs are regular, second and third column are the same with ed. The changes occur for the irregular ones. Let's have a look at more examples. When George died, he and Anna had been married for nearly 50 years. So the point in the timeline, in the past, starts when George died. And from there to the past, we say they had been married for nearly 50 years. Let's go on. She didn't want to move. She had lived in Liverpool all her life. So here's another. So she was born, she started living in Liverpool, and she didn't want to move. She had lived in Liverpool all her life. Always talking about a narrative tense when we tell stories and we narrate and use tenses in combination. These are typical situations and combinations of narrations, past simple and past perfect, sorry. My 18th birthday was the worst I had ever had. Again, talking about something that happened in the past. I was pleased to meet George. I hadn't met him before, even though I had met his wife several times. Couldn't get into the house. I had lost my keys. Teresa wasn't at home. She had gone shopping. Okay, then again, if you see there's a pattern here, all the time the same. And it's very important to always focus the tenses in a timeline, as I mentioned before. So we've got, this is a timeline. Here is the present, future, past. The yellow X would be the past simple point in the past. And the red one would be the past perfect. So this happened before the yellow cross. It might have been just a point or might have been something that continued a little bit. Like some action that had a certain continuity. Well, I hope you have understood, and remember to follow us, leave us comments, likes if you can and want, and follow us on all our social media. Bye.